All right, so list me those players that you said. I heard light energy.
List off of what?
All of those players that are involved. I heard light energy. What else did I hear?
Chloroplasts.
I heard chloroplasts. So this happens inside the chloroplast, right? Chloroplasts. Okay. What else?
ATP.
There was ATP. Where does that go?
I don't know where it would go on the board.
Would it be outside this?
No.
Okay, here's an idea. We'll do the two individual reactions later. How about you give me just the overall photosynthesis deal? What's the overall deal? So we've got light energy. Yeah. What else do we need to do photosynthesis?
Water.
We need some water. All right. What else? We need some carbon dioxide. Anything else? Do we forget one? Is oxygen required?
No, it's pretty.
So oxygen is a.
They need water, sunlight, carbon dioxide, and glucose. And oxygen.
They need oxygen?
No.
Oxygen is a waste product. So we take all of these things. What do we get out of it eventually? Glucose and oxygen. All right. All right, so we're going to get into that in more detail today and tomorrow. We're going to talk about the reactions that are the opposite of photosynthesis, which is what? Respiration. Right? So that's kind of running photosynthesis in reverse. And we're going to start that today/tomorrow, respiration. But right now, I just want to make sure we're all on the same page with our photosynthesis. So there's two different reactions that we talked about. Photosynthesis, right? What's the first one called? That happens first.
It's called
Light-dependent reaction?
So what?
Light-dependent
So
reaction?
the light dependent, it needs light. Dependent. Alright, so needs light. Where does it get it from? Needs light, I'll put energy from sun. Okay. What does it do? What is the whole purpose of the first light reaction?
it makes oxygen and it makes ADP and NADP plus into ATP and NADPH. But create energy.
Okay, produces O2. So it's going to take that energy, right, and transfer it into ATP, and what was the other one? NAD, oops, should be a D. So it's going to take that light energy, it's going to store it in our little rechargeable batteries, remember those guys? ATP and NADPH. This is where you nod at me and say, oh yeah, oh yeah. Right, okay. So we transfer into these energy molecules. And then what is the second reaction called?
Calvin cycle?
So it's got a couple names. It's called the Calvin-Benson cycle sometimes.
Should we write that down?
I mean, I would, but it's up to you. You guys are high schoolers now.
Wait, what's the second part?
So now we're talking about the second reaction. It's called the Calvin cycle. It's also called the not light dependent.
Light independent.
It's also called the light independent cycle. We do that. It is sometimes called the dark cycle. However, it doesn't happen in the dark. It happens at all times of the day. Happens all times of day. Alright. So, if it does not need the light energy, where does the energy come from?
The ATP.
It comes from the ATP and the NADPH. What's it trying to do?
Like glucose.
Eventually, it uses that energy to make our old friend. I love colors. Right? So, reaction set number 1, we're charging up that energy in ATP and NADPH. Right? We're charging up those batteries, we plug it into the wall. Reaction set number 2, we're using that energy that we just made to make glucose. Is it done? Is the plant done? It's all good with glucose, it can use that? People always get this one wrong.
No.
So, what does it do with the glucose? Back to the beginning to do what? What kind of stuff? Don't say stuff. I hate that word. Oh, do we have a special name for that?
Energy.
What do we do with glucose in our body? Well, okay, we take it in. What's our body do with it?
Uses it as energy
How?
to produce, I don't know, but maybe glucose produces oxygen.
Okay, you're talking about utilization of glucose with insulin, transfer into the cells. Glucose can't cross cell membrane by itself. It needs a carrier molecule, insulin, in that case. However, once it's in there, what does it do? It goes to the mitochondria. What does the mitochondria do?
Produce energy and protein.
Produce energy. So we take our glucose. What's up? So we go through the process of respiration in the mitochondria, and we make ATP. Seems kind of strange that the plant would go through all of that effort, right? Just does it in different locations. So plants have both chloroplasts that make glucose and mitochondria that will make ATP for them to use. Strange. That's how it works. Did I miss anything? What did I miss? That's reasonable to me, I guess. If I gave you that on a test right now, could you do it? No?
Yeah, right now I could.
Right now, maybe? How about tomorrow? Alright, so if you know that you're not, if you know that you can't make something like that, I suggest you definitely look it over. Make sure you
Is it
can.
like multiple choice or is it like different?
I'm not sure yet. We'll
It's
see.
gonna be tomorrow.
I was going to give this as a quiz, but I want to make sure that we were all on the same page. Okay. So if you can't do this, make sure you copy it down and you can make something like this.
Like copy it down.
Okay, because then once we talk about respiration, hopefully it'll make more sense. Think of respiration just as photosynthesis in reverse.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah,
Okay, so
good.
if it needs all that to start, and then it makes that, and then it goes back and kind of does it again.
Yep.
Why does it need more?
One sec.
Like, you know how you keep watering a plant?
Right.
Where's it go?
Oh, that's next hour.
Just kidding, I'm
No problem.
Well, water is an oxygen.
Okay,
so-
well, why do you need to continue eating food? Why can't you just have one cheeseburger your whole life and call it good?
But like, it doesn't. But on that little map thing, it never leaves the plant.
Yeah, but it goes into oxygen.
No.
There's oxygen to go to.
Alright, so this is my little picture that I really like. Right, remember, you have energy from the sun, goes into the chloroplasts, gives off oxygen as a waste product for the plant, thankfully, because we need it. Right? You've now got these molecules that are charged up carrying energy. They go down into the Calvin dark cycle. Alright? Gives off glucose, which is what the plant can then use as an energy source. The NADPA, NAD plus, and ADP, which is now spent, right? No more energy there. It goes back into the chloroplasts, where more energy comes in and recharges them, right? Here's our little rechargeable batteries. They keep going around and around and around. But you need to give it more CO2 in order to make the Calvin cycle go. Because you've used that CO2 to make glucose. And the plant will then use that glucose to make ATP, or something else.